Hi, I'm so glad I get to join you today. My name is Linda and I am the owner of CKD Culinary Consulting. I am a culinary consultant for American Kidney Fund. I'm a chef and certified nutritionist, and I'm also a caregiver to my husband who has stage 3 kidney disease. And I want to share with you one of our favorite quick and easy breakfast recipes. And bonus, it's lower carb as well. So these are my polenta and egg breakfast cups. So we can go ahead and get started. First things first, let me go ahead and let you know what we got going on here. I have just a standard tub of the tubes of polenta. I've cut that down so I have 6 ounces of that. Then I have 4 teaspoons of unsalted butter. I have 4 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of the Mrs. Dash taco seasoning mix, but feel free to use whatever taco seasoning that you want to use. Also, there's 1/8 a teaspoon of kosher salt, which is a coarse grain salt. And we have 1/4 cup of diced bell pepper. I also have 1/4 cup of diced Roma tomatoes. Now you could use another tomato if you want. I like the Romas just because they are so much more meaty, so there's more to them. I also have 1/4 cup of sliced green onions. Okay, It's about 2 medium green onions will equal about 1/4 cup for you. And so we'll get those chopped up. I also have 2 ounces of finely shredded sharp cheddar cheese. And I've divided those in half because we're going to use them at 2 different points. With cheese, since we have to limit cheese, I'm going to suggest to you, you always use a strong flavored cheese. If you're not able to use a lot of it, make sure you can taste it. And another tip is I like to use the finely shredded because, again, since we're not using a lot, if you use the finely shredded, there's more shreds that are going to get more distributed throughout the dish. So that's why I always use those. And then we have 2 tablespoons of cilantro chopped. Now, if you're one of those people that cannot eat cilantro, that's absolutely fine. You could sub in some parsley, or you can take and do a combination of tarragon, dill, and parsley. Mix those together and use that as a sub for cilantro. And last but not least, we have our crema. Now you can absolutely use sour cream. You don't have to track this down or find it if you don't want to. So either one is fine. Okay. Now, I have my ramekins completely greased up and ready to go. It's important to grease them, otherwise everything in there is going to stick. Now, what we want to do to start, take our polenta and pop it right out of that little wrap there. Here's a good place to hold my stuff. Okay, we're going to cut it into 4 pieces because, well, we have 4 ramekins, right? So, we just want to slice each one up here. Some are going to be bigger than others. It just happens when you're trying to eyeball it. It's okay. Don't worry about having to measure it out exactly. Now what we want to do is make this easy and just crumble it up in there. Now I've tried many times in the past to just go ahead and set the whole disc right inside, but it didn't quite work so well. It made it hard to dig into. So I decided, you know what, let's crumble it up. I got them all crumbled up and I've got them all set and ready. So now the next thing we want to do is these 4 little teaspoons of butter. You guessed it. We're going to set it right on top of each one. Add a little bit of butter as these are going to bake. Get that on there. Okay, what we want to do is put these into an oven that's 500 degrees. It's basically putting it on a high broil. So some ovens you can just hit high broil, some you have to actually set to 500. Do what you got to do. All right, let's get them put in there. So next we're going to take our 4 large eggs. So we have those. Now we're going to do some mixing. Okay, that seasoning we talked about, taco seasoning and the salt. Throw it on into your eggs. We are going to add in our red pepper. We're going to throw that on in. Tomato. Okay, and then we're going to add our green onion. So we've got all of our veggies sitting nice right inside there. Okay, now we just want to break up those yolks. Give this a nice stir. Mix it all together. So we got a nice mixture going on there. Okay, we are going to set this aside and wait until our crusts, our polenta crusts, come out of the oven. All right, we're back and they are done. You can probably still hear them sizzling, right? Oh yeah. So we got some nice browning that's going on. It's usually just like the tips of some of the crumbles that are going to start browning. So don't worry about getting like a full-on browning. Don't need to. Okay, we've got these. They're quite hot, so remind me not to burn myself. So we have our cheese that we had divided out between them. Now what we're going to do is take that and we're going to put cheese onto each one. Now this is only 1 ounce of the finely shredded cheese, so that's only 1/4 of an ounce, you know, per dish. So it's definitely not going to be an issue for kidney disease. What I have done is after I pulled these out, I went and turned my oven to 400 degrees, and that's where we're at right now, and still preheating a little bit. So from here, we're going to take that yummy, yummy egg mixture, and we just want to take and divide this out between the 4 of them. Now, usually I just grab like a half of a cup, measuring cup, because it's just easier to use to do it. Plus, you're getting, you look at all those veggies you're getting. Okay, we're going to pour it right on top. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and pop these into the oven, and they're going to go for about 12 to 18 minutes. Now, you can kind of tell they're done when, of course, they're set, but you also want them to have kind of a little moisture look to them, kind of moist, but they're set. We don't want to go too far over that because then they're going to be overcooked and they can be rubbery. And nobody likes that with their eggs. Welcome back. All right, look at these babies. Don't they look great? You can see that they've got some nice bubbling with the cheese, and it's not quite dry. There's still that little bit of sheen going on, so that's perfect. Because what happens is even though we've taken them out of the oven, they are going to still continue to cook for a few minutes. It's that carryover cooking. And so you want to pull them out at the right time so that way you're accounting for that cooking and they don't overcook. Got it? Okay. So now that we have these, I'm going to pull one out here. I'm just going to go ahead and set it right in there. What we're going to do is we're going to take some more cheese, yummy, yummy cheese, and we're going to put that right on top. We want that to melt. Let me do it to these guys too so it gets a chance to melt. All right. Now, again, remember we can use sour cream or we can use the crema. Now with this, you only want to put about a half a tablespoon on each one. Not too much. We're just going to put a little happy spot on there. I'm going to wait with these ones because they're still hot. Okay. And then we just want to do a nice little sprinkle of our cilantro. So again, if you don't like cilantro, you can use parsley. But there we go. Let that cool just a little bit. Let that cheese melt. And then enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this. And the recipe should be available to you as well. Bye-bye.